When disaster strikes in the United States, like the destruction of Hurricane Ida, FEMA funds and coordinates a response. But when disaster strikes overseas, USAID coordinates and delivers American aid. On August 14th, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake and a tropical storm in Haiti left thousands of residents without basic necessities. Tim Callaghan is the leader for USAID's Disaster Assistance Response Team for the 2021 earthquake in Haiti. It's part of USAID's Bureau for Humanitarian Assistance. He's currently in the field in Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince. Tim, welcome.
Good morning.
The capital where you are was not directly hit by the earthquake, but what's the situation right now in Haiti?
Yeah, so the situation, unlike 2010 when I was here, where the capital was devastated, where buildings fell down and there was a lot of need for food and so forth, that's not the case in the capital, but it is the case on the southern part of Haiti. When the earthquake hit, the priorities for us as coordinating the U.S. government effort was search and rescue and medical evacuations. And we work, again, as the lead federal agency coordinating, we work very closely with the U.S. Coast Guard for the medical evacuations. And now our main focus, so after the search phase has ended, after the medical evacuations have ended, the main focus right now is working with the government's FEMA equivalent called DPC, Civil Protection, to get out aid to hard to hit areas, isolated areas, again, based on the priorities that the government has set forth. So the main issues we're focusing on between last week and this week are issues related to shelter, food assistance, health assistance, water, sanitation, hygiene, but again, obviously everything connected to logistics and working together with Department of Defense, U.S. Coast Guard, obviously civil protection here, and the international community, NGO, non-government organizations, and the UN.
Now, Tim, it has been about 3 weeks. How are the people doing? Do they have basic necessities? Do they have water? Do they have housing?
Yeah, I think the first week was difficult, no question about it, and given the security situation. But I think last week was so much better in getting items out to folks. Today, for example, we're in the process of working with the Department of Defense to support a very large shipment of food to Jeremy. And recently, we've been working with the World Food Program to ensure that food assistance is getting out. We've been, what's happened in the last 10 days or so. So we're a little over, the earthquake was on the 14th. The first week was difficult, just trying to get things organized, work with local mayors and communities. But in the past 10 days or so, there's been convoys of trucks. So 137 have been able to get out from Port-au-Prince to Lakai. And then what the challenge now we have is what we call last mile distribution. So even if we get it to warehouses in the hard hit areas, it's coordinating with security, because that's a really important thing. All these convoys that have gone out, you have to have security, the Haitian National Police. Sometimes you'll see some situations where people will surround the truck. Again, groups are well intentioned, but everything has to be coordinated with the government, with security, and the NGOs and the UN working together, but also at the local level, right? Mayors, community leaders, making sure when we get it there, there's a plan to distribute it quickly. So a lot of material has gotten out and continues to get out. The big push the government asked us was between last week and this week to reach, that blanket of immediate assistance to the hardest hit areas. And that's what we're focused on right now with the government.
So Tim, talk to me about the logistics a little bit. When a disaster strikes, how do you start planning this type of large-scale response effort, especially with timing being so critical?
Yeah, a lot of it happens actually beforehand. So we have, for example, the search and rescue teams. We have agreements already in place for search and rescue worldwide with Fairfax County Fire Department and with Los Angeles County Fire Department. So the exercises, the planning, knowing who can go, how quickly they can go. The same thing with the Department of Defense. Colonel Gavitner from JTF Bravo, he's based in Honduras. I had actually gone out there a couple of weeks ago for the purpose of getting to know him, talking about how we would work together if something strikes. And then first time that I met him then after that was, here in Haiti. So he's based out of Guantanamo, bringing aircraft in. So Admiral Fowler, he's the lead at Southern Command in Miami. We constantly meet, talk, review plans, and we do that all the time ahead of time. Obviously, with the government here, we have our plans of capacity building, activities with, Incident Command System, Urban Search and Rescue. With the government, Dr. Chandler is the FEMA equivalent director here. and we have a strong relationship with him. And AID has a humanitarian office here in Haiti that, again, knows the World Food Program and other partners.
Tim, how long will your team be in Haiti? How do you know that we're done, it's time to go home?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. We look at it as phases. So, right now, obviously, the first week, the phase was the search and rescue phase, looking for people who would still be alive under the rubble. It combined with trying to medically evacuate folks from hard-to-hit areas to get them into medical care and hospitals in the capital. The next phase is what we're in right now. That's trying to get food, water, shelter materials. That's the big need right now. We're in hurricane season, as you know. So that's the phase we're in right now. We'll also be putting resources into partners' hands. So I would say kind of, for the next, couple of weeks, we'll be here, but we'll start to pare down as appropriate. But obviously then even after we program resources regarding food and health and shelter, we'll have a small team here that will continue to monitor, because obviously we want to help, but also we have to guard the taxpayer dollars. So we'll be doing field trips and monitoring trips as the activities continue over the next few months.
Tim, thanks so much for taking time to join us, and best of luck to you. Stay safe.
Thanks so much. My pleasure.